It's now time for the next installment of the Puck Rivals Top 5 Prospect Series. Hey, it's Matt from Puck Rivals, and in this video I'm going to be analyzing the stacked prospect pool of the Los Angeles Kings, and revealing who we chose as our top 5 picks. This was another requested team, and it doesn't come as much of a surprise given how talented this group is. We've already covered some other teams in this series, so make sure to check out those videos when you're done this one. The link for the playlist is in the description. Now, just like the Sens, it was very tough to narrow down this list to a top 5 and 3 honorable mentions, since this group is so strong. So make sure to leave a comment on what your list would look like for this Kings prospect pool. To go over the eligibility requirements again, players only qualify for this list if they are under 24 years old and haven't played 25 games in a single NHL season. And with that, let's get right into the graduates of this Kings group. Despite the Kings being in rebuild mode for the past few years, they've taken their time with prospects, leaving Blake Lizotte as their only graduate from this past season. The small forward had a solid first year in the NHL, with 23 points in 65 games, and he would be a great depth forward for the Kings going into the future. Alright, now starting at number 5 in the Los Angeles Kings prospect rankings, we have Swedish winger Samuel Fagemo. The 2019 second round pick was taken by LA in his second year of eligibility, and is making people shake their heads as to why he was ever passed over in his draft year. Fagemo is a creative, skilled winger with a great wrister and quick release. He had a phenomenal World Juniors last year, leading the tournament in goals with 8 and points with 13 in his 7 games with Sweden. Last year he also had a good season with Frölunda in the SHL, where he put up 22 points in 42 games. And he started this year with 5 points in 11 games so far in the Allsvenskan. Fagemo could turn into a top 6 winger for the Kings after taking some more time to round out his game. With the number 4 ranked prospect, we have another Swede, and that's defenseman Tobias Bjornfot. The 2019 22nd overall pick played 3 games in the NHL last year before taking on a larger role in Ontario of the AHL, where he put up 19 points in 44 games. Bjornfot is a good all-around defender with a great transition game and first pass. He has great skating ability and edge work, and is a smart player who sees the ice well, and also isn't afraid to join the rush every once in a while. He started this year in the SHL and currently has 1 assist through 6 games so far. Bjornfot is probably going to be one of those players who won't ever impress anyone with his point totals at the NHL level, but he should end up being a crucial two-way shutdown defenseman in the Kings' top 4 going into the future. At number 3, we have a big man down the middle in Gabe Vilardi. At 6'3", the 2017 11th overall pick brings size and skill to the table. After dealing with a series of back injuries over the years, Vilardi made a huge step last season, showing off the skill that he has when he's healthy. He put up 25 points in 32 games in the AHL last season, before being called up and scoring an impressive 7 points in 10 games for the Kings before the season was shut down. Vilardi isn't overly fast, but he brings a lot of power to his game and high-end playmaking ability. His size allows him to protect the puck and find teammates in the offensive zone, while also having a great scoring ability as well. It's nice to see Vilardi come back from his injury and do so well, and he'll likely look to take a larger role with the Kings full-time once the season gets going. He has the potential to be a solid second-line center for LA in the future. Moving on to the number 2 pick in our Kings top prospect rankings, we have 2019 5th overall pick Alex Turcotte. He had a good first season for Wisconsin last year, where he put up 26 points in 29 games. Turcotte plays a complete two-way game and is a creative playmaker with high-end hockey IQ. He has a powerful stride making for a great first step, and to complement his playmaking skills, a great wrist shot and quick release. Turcotte is currently on loan to Berlin of the DEL until the NHL and AHL seasons begin in North America. At 5'11", he's on the smaller side of their center prospects, but is near the top of that same list when it comes to dynamic offensive creativity. He projects to be a top-line center, but with the center depth the Kings now have prospect-wise, and Kopitar not going anywhere for a while, we could see Turcotte as a potential top-line winger for LA if they choose to move him there. Now for the number 1 spot on the Kings' top prospect list, we have big center Quinton Byfield. Surprise, surprise. The 2020 second overall pick put up 82 points in 45 games last season for Sudbury in the OHL. Byfield has dominated every league he has played in and is a great combination of size and skill. At 6'4", he's also a great skater despite his size, bringing an explosive stride and elusiveness from his skating ability. He truly was a slam dunk of a pick when the Kings selected him second overall in this year's draft. He's big, He skates really well, reliable in all situations, and has the ability to score in a variety of ways using either his shot or great hands. Byfield is the ideal player that you want to build a team around, and now can lead this stacked prospect pool the Kings have out of this rebuild. Also, not to mention, he will be mentored by one of the best two-way centers in the game in Anze Kopitar. After 2 great years in the OHL, he will look to make the jump to the NHL and make an impact right away, and he will have a great chance to get warmed up by representing Team Canada again at the World Juniors in December, where he will likely play a much bigger role. Now let's get to some of the guys who were just shy of making the cut of this top 5 list. In the honorable mention section of this video, we have 2018 first round pick Rasmus Kupari, 2018 second round pick Akil Thomas, and 2019 second round pick Arthur Kaliyev. All these guys are great prospects and will likely be a part of the Kings' rise back into playoff contention, but they are part of a stacked prospect pool, and that's why they landed in the honorable mention section. Looking at this top 5 list should make Kings fans really excited. It's an absolute no-doubter that this team has one of the top 3 prospect pools across the league, and there could be many arguments to why it could be the best. There's some top-line talent here for sure, and this forward group especially is going to get some huge upgrades in the coming years, leaving no worries about scoring goals like this past year's Kings team badly showed. Out of this top 5, we see Byfield, Vilardi, and Bjornfot making the team out of camp this coming season. And because of the amount of young guys in the system, we see Turcotte potentially starting out in the AHL and playing all the big minutes for Ontario, but it won't be long before he is a big impact player for this Kings team as well. Still being only 6 years removed from their last Stanley Cup win, this LA team managed to acquire high-end prospects while keeping some of their main core together. The veterans like Kopitar and Doughty will create a smoother transition for these prospects that the Kings have. And in a couple years, this team could be as scary as they were back at the beginning of the 2010s. There's still a lot of development that has to happen before it can become a reality, but LA has done a great job setting up their franchise for future success. Let us know in the comments what you think of these rankings, and what other teams you would like to see us do next. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you like hockey videos, because that's what we do on this channel. And also make sure to check out the other teams we've already covered in this series. The card should be at the top of the screen right now, and the playlist link is in the description. This is Matt from Puck Rivals, and I will see you next time.